Scott, you ready? Yes? Okay. All right, thank you guys for coming in. We're going to go ahead and get started tonight. It's even high for me. This is a community input session for our strategic planning process. We do have committee members here as well as some of our participants tonight. So we're going to go quickly through a short presentation, let you know kind of where we are in this process, and then we will have an activity for you guys to do. I do want to remind both our viewing audience and anybody else that's watching this, we do still have the survey available online. There's a link on our website. It's on our social media channels. But if you do need to look for it, it is www.surveymonkey.com/r/2028FP. That's for flight plan. So if you have not yet completed that survey, we do want you to go out there and take advantage of completing that. It is more in-depth than our activity here tonight, but our activity here tonight will allow for some conversation and some dialogue as well. So first we're going to talk a little bit about where we are in flight plan. The vision and the mission of Red Oak ISD is remaining the same. Our vision is still realizing our individual students' dreams, and the mission is the 4 talons of the hawk: being prepared, showing grit, character, and service. Those are not things that we're looking to modify at this time. Those are things we're keeping intact as part of the district. So I'm going to go over briefly what Flight Plan 2023, which is expiring this summer, how that was developed back in 2018. It was actually board approved in October of 2018, although the process started in the spring and summer. As it was established, the last status update was in January of 2020, and then what happened? COVID, right? So we had a lot of, we really did have too many measures within that original flight plan. We had 5 areas of focus, 13 goals with 32 strategies and 67 measurable internal pieces that we were measuring throughout that process. That first year, however, 30 of those 67 goals were completed. That's a 45% of year 1. 5 measures of ours, and those measures were also moved to best practices. If anybody wants additional information on some of those, we can help that out, but we're not going deep into that today. So that talks a little bit about some of where Flight Plan 2023 was and then where it ended. As I said, the last board update was in January of 2020. Let them know where we were in this process. The 5 areas of focus are academics, staff or staffing, finance, growth in facilities, and communications. Obviously, those are the main areas of a functioning school district. Those aren't really going to change as well. But let's talk a little bit about where we are now in this process. The strategic planning process for us at this juncture is really a process where we want to connect our board goals and our district improvement plan concepts and ideas into one overarching 5-year plan, okay? We want to focus on people and processes to make sure we're being effective and efficient, and we want to assess data to modify the plan as needed. A good strategic plan is a working, living document, and it's one that we should be able to modify if the data shows that we need to make a modification. One of the things that we'll be working on internally as departments and working with our committee and our subcommittees for some input on is SMART goals. So when we have a goal that just says, we want to do this, well, that's great, but we really want a goal that's measurable. So we want something that's very specific, measurable. It needs to be achievable. It needs to be relevant, and it needs to be time-bound. So we want to do something, meet this measurement by this time frame, and it needs to be something that is something that's doable. If it's something that's beyond even reachable, it's really not a goal that an independent or a department or a school district even can feel like they can obtain. It really kind of defeats the purpose of having that goal. So part of the process that we've been going through on the strategic planning was to create the strategic planning committee. We do have 2 board members who volunteered for this. We have community members. We have 4 community members. We have 8 parents, teachers, campus administrators, high school students, and we have central administrators that are assisting with the process as well. So we had input. People volunteered to be on this committee to come and be part of developing this plan for the next 5 years. We did go through those because we did have to make sure, we can't put everybody that, it's too big. We put everybody on a committee, and we really appreciate all of those who did. We wanted to find some folks that maybe hadn't been on committees. We wanted to find and make sure we had a good cross-section of people who had input as a parent. We want to make sure we had elementary, middle school, and high school, both staff and parents involved, community members from different aspects, and as we mentioned, our students. So we're really excited about our students that are participating with us. So where we are in the process right now, the committee met on March 2nd. That actually got bumped to the 6th because of a storm that night. And we kind of established our subcommittees that night, went over the whole process, a little bit longer version of this presentation tonight. On March 9th, we worked with the committee to develop the questionnaire that got sent out then. As I mentioned, that's open until Monday, the 27th. So if you have not had a chance, there's still an opportunity to get out there and complete that questionnaire and that survey. And then here we are tonight at the first of 2 public input meetings. And then after that, our committee will reconvene again next Thursday night, and they'll have an opportunity to review the input from both this meeting and the meeting on Thursday, as well as the survey information once that closes on Monday. We'll get that information out to them so that they can see what the community goals and priorities are as well, what things that they would like to see the district focus on. That way, when the subcommittees come back together, they can begin working on the big goals for their subcommittee group. And again, those subcommittee groups are focused on those 5 big rocks. After that, the committees, if need be, they can meet independently, or if they need to gather any other information or work with their committee head. Then Thursday, April 6th, that the full committee will reconvene again and work on finalizing the goals for their group, for their subcommittee. Work on that as far as presenting that even to the whole group to make sure the whole group sees what each subcommittee is doing. And then we'll be working on a presentation for the committee to give to the board coming up on April the 17th. So we want to kind of go back and reflect on what the board goals are for this year and look at how that's going to impact some of what we want to do going forward. These are goals for this year. However, they really still impact the 5 big rocks that we talked about, those 5 areas of focus. And so really the student learning goals are obviously sort of our academic piece of it. And you can see the early childhood literacy, early childhood math, the college career military readiness goals, along with one for college career military readiness with an increase of industry certifications. And so we have a couple of goals in that realm as far as the board goals for this year. Also in there we have community engagement, which is more of a communication side of it, finance, facilities, safety and security, and then human resources. So again, those goals are mirroring the 5 big rocks that the district has. So we're going to keep those 5 areas of focus. So in keeping this pretty short for tonight, we do have a couple members here to help participate in this activity, but as I mentioned, we have the survey available. We've had over 450 responses. This is when I looked at it yesterday afternoon. So we do have some good responses going on. I do want to tell you guys there's some great input in there. It's going to take a while to read through it because it's a lot of data. About 64% have been parents, 36% have been staff, and about 10% community members. We're going to send out that link a couple more times this week, remind folks to take advantage of that opportunity to get their input and to have their opinions heard on this. As I mentioned, the 2 public input sessions, and then we'll be bringing all of that back to the committee to begin working on the strategic plan as a whole. Okay? So, I'll go back to that one and leave it there. So tonight's activity is pretty simple. If you are not a committee member, our committee members are here. Our committee members are here just to listen and have a little dialogue and discussion with you guys after we do the activity. So I am going to ask those of you who are not on the committee but here tonight, you should have gotten a set of 5 stickies when you came in, and hopefully you got a pen. If you'll number those 1 through 5, and then your activity tonight is really pretty simple. You're going to take your 1 through 5, and place them up on the wall on one of the big rock areas, right? So we have human resources, academics, facility, ops and safety, finance, and communications. So you're going to place your number one priority. You're going to write down what you feel as anything in the district. It could be technology, but if it's technology, is it instructional technology and academics, or is it devices or cybersecurity? That falls more under operations than safety. So there's some categories in there that, you know, if it's about recruitment, it's under HR. If it's about finance, though, and paying staff more, is that a finance situation or an HR situation? So some of those kind of have a leg in both areas, if you will. But we want you guys to just think about what your 5 things you think the district needs to prioritize. And it's not really a goal, it's not really a focus down area. It's just talking about if it's a technology or if it's communication, if it's a certain subject within one of those 5 areas, and then you're just going to put them on the wall. So it's a pretty easy activity tonight, and then we can talk a little bit about some of those that are up there. So we're going to give you guys about 10 minutes to do, well, less than that if you guys get done early. We'll give you guys a few minutes to think about it, think about what you want to put up there, and then we will give you guys time to get them up on the wall. Any questions? Good? Okay, go ahead. And then write whatever subject, whatever topic you think should be focused for that area. Committee within the area. Some different areas.
But thinking academics, somebody said, I think we should go back to part that place and just do a computer based.
Right. Now, you gotta write down what within those areas you want us to focus on.
Oh, sorry.
Give me one more step. Give me one more step. You went super easy, not just prioritizing, but within these areas, is there something you want us to focus on? You can't do, you don't have to make if you're doing activity, you don't have to put one in each area. If you feel like we need to do 3 things in finance, you can put 3 in finance. If you feel like we need to put 1 for facilities and 1 for safety, fine, we're gonna get more in. If you feel like there's like 3 things in academics you want us to focus on, you can put more than 1 priority in a big block. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, sir? Okay. It's hard to explain. Go ahead.
Maybe you want to travel to Hawaii to recruit. So put that there, so that's something we can do. For us in the district. Yeah. I think a lot of people volunteer for that.
So there's a lot of topics that you guys can cover, but we want you guys to think about what within those 5 areas do you see as you want the committee to focus their attention on. You got it, man. And put all of them in. Sure, thank you, Captain. Didn't you? We do know the weather ran some people off, so if you are interested, you can come on Thursday. We'll be doing this again on Thursday. It'll be at 7 o'clock here in the boardroom. Doors will open about 15, 20 minutes before, so feel free to come on Thursday as well. If you do have the opportunity, again, I want to remind you that we do have the survey posted on the website. Allows you to go to our website or our social media channels have the link available, or you can go to www.surveymonkey.com/r/2028FP, and that will allow you to do the full complete survey. It is a survey that we made a couple modifications on, but it's basically the same survey that was used in 2018 because we did want to have some apples to apples comparisons about the district progress from 5 years ago to now. Oh, it's on the website. Yes, ma'am. It's a link under our news items of the website. It's also on our social media channels. Our parents and staff also receive the link, and any community members that are signed up on our parent link or have our app. It's also posted on our app, which anyone can download the app. We encourage you to download the app. You can stay involved in everything to do with Red Oak ISD. Yes, ma'am. I believe Ms. Alera explained them to Ms. Porter when she came in. Yes? Yes. Yes, ma'am. We're fast. We sneak around like ninjas. All right, we have everyone that said they're going to complete theirs tonight is done. We did have one who said he's not in the right frame of mind. He's going to finish on Thursday and bring his back. We don't really, we have a great committee that's going to be working on these. They're going to get this data. We're going to put it all in a spreadsheet, let them have this, dissect it, look at how it fits with the survey responses as well. And then some of the other research they've already been looking into and some of the other stuff that they've already gotten from their subcommittee head. And so I hope you guys have an opportunity to do the survey online, as I mentioned. If you've already done that, thank you very much. If you have not yet, I encourage you to please do that. If you have an opportunity to join us on Thursday night, we'd love to have you here on Thursday night. Let you have your opportunity to come in and do your input here with the committee. We have about half the committee here tonight and half coming on Thursday, so they're here as well. So if there's no other questions or comments for us, we are going to go ahead and let those of you who want to get out of here, but we'll be sticking around. I'll ask Cabinet to stay as well for a few minutes. If anybody has any questions, we'll be glad to answer those questions for you, but if not, we are adjourned. Thank you guys very much for coming tonight. Thank you.